In bygone days, Morag had once believed that nothing could be worse than killing a person. Now she perceived river slaying as something worse. No wonder the kids felt themselves to be children of the apocalypse. No boats today. Yes, one. Royland was out, fishing for muskie. 74 years old this year, Royland. Eyesight terrible, but he was too stubborn to wear glasses. A marvel that he could go on working. Of course, his work did not depend upon eyesight. Some other kind of sight. A water diviner. Morag always felt she was about to learn something of great significance from him. Something which would explain everything. But things remained mysterious. His work, her own, the generations, the river. Across the river, the clumps of willow bent silver green down to the water, and behind them, the great maples and oaks stirred a little. Their giant, dark green tranquility disturbed only slightly by the wind. There were more dead elms this year, dry bones, the gray skeletons of trees. Soon there would be no elms left. The swallows dipped and spun over the water, a streaking of blue-black wings and bright breast feathers. How could that color be caught in words? A sort of rosy peach color, but that sounded corny and was also inaccurate. I used to think words could do anything. Magic, sorcery, even miracle. But no, only occasionally. The house seemed too quiet, dank. The kitchen had that sour milk and stale bread smell that Morag remembered from her childhood, and which she loathed. There was, however, no sour milk or stale bread here. It must be all in the head, emanating from the emptiness of the place. Until recently, the house was full. Not only Peake, but A.O.K. Smith and Maudie, and their shifting but ever-large tribe. Morag, for the year when the Smiths lived here, had gone around torn between affection and rage. How could anyone be expected to work in such a madhouse? And here she was feeding them all, more or less, and no goddamn money would be coming in if she didn't get back to the typewriter. Now, of course, she wished some of them were here again. True, they only lived across the river, now that they had their own place, and visited often, so perhaps that was enough. Something about Peake's going, apart from the actual departure itself, was unresolved in Morag's mind. The fact that Peake was going west? Yes. Morag was both glad and uncertain. What would Peake's father think if he knew? Well, he wouldn't know, and didn't have all that much right to judge anyway. Would Peake go to Manawaka? If she did, would she find anything there which would have meaning for her? Morag rose, searched the house, finally found what she was looking for. These photographs from the past never agreed to get lost. Odd, because she had tried hard enough over the years to lose them. Or thought she had. She had treated them carelessly, shoved them away in seldom opened suitcases, or in dresser drawers filled with discarded underwear, scorning to put them into anything as neat as an album. They were jammed any old how into an ancient, tattered manila envelope that Christy had given her once when she was a kid, and which said McVitie and Pearl, Barristers and Solicitors, Manawaka, Manitoba. Christy must have found it at the dump, the nuisance grounds, as they were known. What an incredible name when you thought of the implications. The thick, brown paper stank a bit when Christy had handed it to her. Faintly shit-like. Faintly the sweetish, ether smell of spoiled fruit. He said Morag could have it to keep her pictures in, and she had taken it, although despising it, because she did not have any other sturdy envelope for the few and valued snapshots she owned then, not realizing that if she had chucked them out then and there, her skull would prove an envelope quite sturdy enough to retain them. I've kept them, of course, because something in me doesn't want to lose them, or perhaps doesn't dare. Perhaps they're my totems.